Professor Noor is here. Today I'm gonna discuss chapter number 7, advanced form techniques. The objective of chapter number 7 is that you're gonna be learning about how to add combo boxes that include selection list, how to add combo box for searching, how to format and resize the controls, how to apply formatting characteristics with the format painter, how to add command buttons, how to modify the buttons and combo boxes, how to add calculator field, how to use the tab control to create multi-page forms, how to add and modify the subforms, and then how you're going to insert charts, modify the chart type, and format the chart. So obviously, in the second part, we're going to learn about multi-page forms, a form that contains more than one page of information. So I will show you at the second part of this chapter number 7. So obviously I'm going to use the same database, the Braid-LAS Associate that I've been using it for chapter 1 till 6. So it's the same database I'm going to use. So let me share my screen. So the database is open. I open the Braid-LAS Associate. If you look in the top, so the first thing is that I will teach you about to create a form in a design view, because then we're gonna add the combo boxes and the command button in it. So to do that, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to create, and then we're gonna go to form design. We have to click on form design. Once we hit the form design, and if you remember that these square dot in here below the form 2, where my flashlights indicate, you will click on it. Why we do that is to select this form, right? So once we have selected, and then we're gonna go to the record source from the property sheet record source, and then we're gonna link the table account, and then the record source is gonna come from the account table. And now we're gonna save it. So I will hit the floppy disk in the top, and then I will name this as account master form, and then I will click OK. So then the form has been saved on master form. What I will do is I will click on to add the fields, right? So we did that, and we saved it. So the next thing in your book they said is that in the caption, we can call these in the caption. So in the caption, we will call this. So we're gonna say account view and update form as a new caption. And then we're gonna close the property sheet. Now we're gonna click on add existing field. And then in the add existing field, we're gonna be creating, we're gonna add those fields in the grid. So I need to grab the account number. Then I will need the account, and then hold the shift key, and then we need street, city, we need state, postal code, and account type. So when all of this is selected, now you have to move your cursor to any of the selected and drag it. Everything is being moved simultaneously, and then you can stretch it. You can stretch the boxes. Next, you see here, before that I will increase the mat a little bit. Now I will move this, I will collapse it, and I will select this to deselect them. Now select this, hold the shift key, select the other. I will drag them in the right hand side. Then I will stretch it. Once we have done this, then you can also adjust the sizes as I did in my case. Now the next thing is that we need to change this from account. It has to have account number. So the label, you have to change the label. So account number. And then what we're gonna do next, we're gonna add the combo box that selects values, right? So a combo box that allows the user to select a value from a list is a convenient way to enter data. So to create the combo box is we have to go to the controls. So be sure that you are under design of the form, the tab that design. Then in the middle of the screen you will see controls, and then under the controls you will see the combo box. As you move your cursor over it, it's gonna tell you the combo box. See, my cursor is now moving here in the middle, and that's the one here, the combo box. So you will click it, and then you will draw where you want the combo box to be. So I will put it here. Is a wizard. So once we put that here, we have three options. So the first option says I want the combo box to get the values from other table or queries. So hit next, and then from here we're gonna choose the account manager table, and then hit next, and then from here we need to add the account manager number. We need the first name, and then we need the last name, and then we will hit next. And then if you want to sort, we're going to sort by account manager number. Then next. Now it's going to look like this. Okay. So then the next thing is that we will hit, if you want to hide the primary key, like let's say you want to mention the primary key, then you can remove the check sign. But if you want to make it to hide the account numbers, then obviously yes, you can do that. You can remove the check sign. So if we did like this, then we're gonna say next. Then here it says when you select the row in the combo bar, you can store the value. So we're gonna store it here, and then we have to go with next. And then the next thing it says is that to remember. So I'm gonna restore that value in the account manager number, and then I'm gonna hit next, and then we have to name the combo box as account manager number. Account manager number, and then click finish. and then I will shrink it down, and then I will move this, the label, and I can drag this a little bit and this way down. So now we have designed that, we moved it accordingly. Now the next thing is that if you wanna have color to it, or you wanna, so we need to use back color to our form, right? So what we need to do is we have to click on the account number, okay, and then we have to give we have the boldface, we have to click on the effects, so account number. So the background we need is, obviously I will go here and do right click and then fill back color, and then we need like a light gray. You can use any of these gray, light gray, right? Or we can use, go back, right click on the detail bar, and then we can give this light color. Next, now to format the controls. So the form is in a design mode. So then we have to click the label account number, and then we need the property sheet. You have to click on the property sheet. Once we click the property sheet, now we need to find font weight. You see here, font weight. Be sure you select all. So font weight. In the font, we have to make it semi-bold. And then we have to check where it says special effects. Special effects is flat now, so we're gonna change it to sunken. And then we have to change the font color. The font color, we need to go to find font color. The font color is here, and click the three dots, and then we have to select a dark blue color. So dark blue color under the standard, so dark blue. And then so once we did that, now click, and you can stretch this, you can see, right? And then we need also to italize it. So look for italic, yes. So we italize it. And then also they said we have to change okay. So for the label, actually we have to select, and then we have to make this to be italic, and it should be the special effects should be each, and then this guy here we have to change it, we have to make it semi-bold, the font color, the font weight, and then it has to be special effect should be sunken. I did the opposite, sunken. And then the fore color should be the dark blue. The fore color should be dark, right? And then this one, the label. So now we have to change the label for the account. We need to make italic. So the only thing is that we have to make it italic. We don't want it to be boldface. It's normal. And then the next thing is that we need this to be east, and we need this to be italic. So font should be italic, yes. And now we have to close it, the property sheet. Now we have to use the format painter to copy the formation, right? So click on the text box, and then what we're gonna do now, the format painter is under the home tab. Click the home, and then the format painter, click on it, and you see it's been gray background. That means you select it, and then you will see when I move my cursor, I have a brush with it, and then click on each of the text box, not the level text boxes. Okay. So we're gonna double click it. Now just you have to click. See, as you're moving, it's changing your form, right? And then we're gonna do it for this one too. So once we have done this, now so you need to double click it to stick there, and then you can click on the text box to get the effect that you have applied in the account number. Because I don't want to do it again and again. Once I have created one sample, then I will use that sample for the rest of the controls. Then I will hit save to save my form. Now let's view the form. So we will go below the file, there's a view. So I will click form view. So far the form is. Now we're gonna add a title and expand the form header section, right? So to do that, I will go to the design, click the sword down arrow, design view, and back to the design. And then I will add here where it said title. I will extend this, see, we have to extend it. So I will extend it. And then it says account, view and update form. That's the caption, remember? And then we're gonna also change the color. So the back color should be gray. So we have to select, right click, and then fill and background, and then we have to match the same thing. So that's here. And then we have to use the same color. So I will go here with the property sheet. You will have to have the font weight should be semi-bold, and then the color, the fore color. Although you can do it from format, you can go to format, you can just hit boldface, you can change the color. See, it's the same thing. You have used a dark color, and then you can stretch it, you can move it down. See, you can drag it up or down, and then so we have updated it. And then once you have done this, now let's view the form. So you will go to design, view form. That's so far what you have created. If you go back, and if you want to make these guys to have a different color, so that you can do right click, fill, and then you can make it something else. Look, and then I can drag these up. I can increase the size of my tab again, format, and then I can move this bar down, and then I can stretch this if you want to push it to the center, and then I will close the empty space. Now view, go back to design, view the form. There you go. So if you want to make it different from the detail, so it's gonna look nice. So once we're done with this, the next thing is that because later on we're gonna put something here, so I need this to be a little bit space. I will give some space. Now I will make this to move up. Then I will drag this. Right now I will teach you now how to add command button to the form. You might need to find that you can improve the functionality of your form by adding command buttons. Command button enable user to accomplish the task with a single click. Before adding the button, you should make sure that you use the control wizard button is selected, right? Now to do that, under the controls, you will see the button is this. You see the button when you move your cursor over the screen tip. So this is the guy here. You will click on it, and then you will draw where you want the buttons to be. So I will want the button to be here. Then it's gonna open the wizard. So these are all the categories, and these are the actions, right? So under the record, we need to go to the next record. So I will say next. Now the next thing here says, do you want to have a picture on the button or you want to have a text? So obviously text will be better because maybe somebody will not understand what you mean by these these picture on the button or like this arrow here. So it's better to have a text. So I will select text. Next. Then here you can name it. So in case that you want to code, then you know what is what. So you can say this button will be for next record. So the name of the button now you named it as next record, and then I will hit finish. So the first button is created. Now I will add my next. I will go back the button that has the 4x. You will click on it. You will draw the buttons as I'm doing it now. In the record, we will select previous. So what if you want to go back to the previous record? Then next, I will have a text. Next. Now, if you want, you can change the name. If you don't want, you can just leave it as it is. So according to your book, they said put the name previous record, then finish. Then I will go back and select my third button for the form. Now this time I will use something that where the user can click to add to add any new record. So that will be under the record operations, and then that will be add new records. So I will have a text typed on the button, next, and then here I will say the name will be add record, finish. Then I will have to create my next button, record operation again, and that will be what if you want to delete a record. Then text, then you can type delete record. I will leave it as it is now. Next. Then I will need to have another one. And then these under the record. What if you want to save the record? So here, save. And then the last thing I will do is if you want to close or print, also you can print the record. So I can go back here, and then under the record, you can also have print record, or also you can have print form. The form will be printed. So if you want to print record, you can choose print record. So the book wants us to go to here and choose close form. So what if I want to close my form? So once we have done this, we have to go to next, then close form, then I will hit finish, and then finish. Now all the buttons have been added to my form. What I will do now, I will adjust them. So I will highlight them. Again, if you want to select multiple object, you will move your cursor to the left of that, and then you will create like a box. Hold the left key of your mouse. And then I will go to arrange. Then I will go to align and align to the grid. Okay. And then I will do it again. Align to the top. Everything is being set to the top. And then if you want to adjust to the tallest, to the shortest, so you can also do that. All been adjusted. Next, if you want to move a little more closer, you will highlight and then you can drag them. There you go. Now the next thing after the buttons, now let me show you how the buttons gonna work. So go back to design, view your form, and then see now. Next is working, previous. Add record will be empty because you are about to add a new record. Delete this and then close it means you have to close the form. So I will go back. The next is to add a combo box for finding a record. Why do we need that? Why we need a combo box for finding a record? You can type the account name direct into the box. Alternatively, you can click the combo box to display the list and then select the desired entry from the list, right? So to do that, we will go to the combo box, and then we're gonna draw the combo box somewhere here. And then once you have the combo box designed, then we have to go with the option. Now here it says what you want to do out of the three options. So the options used here is that find a record based on the combo box. So you will choose the last option and then next, and then from here you will use the account name, and then you will hit next. You will see all the account names here, right? Then you will have to hit next. Then we have to give it a name. So you will put Shift and 7, the ampersand, and then name, find. That will be the combo box label. And then click finish. And then if you look here, the ampersand that we give is just to underline the N. You see, sometimes you can hold the Alt and N, right? So here is this. Then we have to place a rectangular box around this. So the rectangular box is this. You will click and you will draw a box just to make it look nice. Once we have drawn the box, Now we need the property sheet, and we will have to make it to be special effect should be east, is already east, and the back style it should be transparent, is already transparent. The back style is transparent, and then that's good. Now let's view the form. There you go, and then you can see all the options here. While I click here, I can search from here, look, like Custer. So I will go back, and if you want to change the color of this, you can choose this. You can go to format, you can boldface, you can give the color you want, or you can give any other color you like. Okay. Next, now to test the add record button, so let's go back, design tab, now view. Now the problem with this is that when I click add, my cursor should start blinking here, but it doesn't, right? So we need to do something for that. The next, as I show you already, you can select from the drop down. Now I need to go back, and if you want, you can increase this. All right. Now the next one we're gonna do is to add, so that when I click the add button, my cursor should set focus on account number, right? Now to do that, first I need you to select the account, and then I need you to give me the property sheet from the tools group, and then you see here it says the name of the control is account, so you need to give an underscore because we're gonna be coding, so underscore shift and then minus, and remove the space, and then the control source also has to be the same as this, so that we have named it, only the name of the box now is account underscore number, right? So once we have done this, to go to record and do right click on it, and then you will see build event, click on it, and you are in the build events, right? So in the build event, I want you to go to database object in the right hand side, and then we have to select go to control, because obviously I'm creating this to get me to the account number when I hit the add records, right? So the event will be the object that we need is that go to control. So click double click this. Once you double clicked it, it's gonna be added in the list, and then it's gonna ask you wanna go to which control. So here we're gonna type account. As soon as you see account number with an underscore, that's the one you have to hook it with it. Double click it. Now once we add this, the next thing is that we need to move. We wanna move it. So you see the green arrow, you can drag it, or you can hit the green arrow to move it where you want this to be. I want this to be here below go to record. So I will move it. I want to move this guy. So now move our go to control. Again, move it until it comes below go, above go to, below go to record, and it should be above the message box. That's where we want this to be, right? Now the next thing, this should go down, so it should be here. Mistakenly I moved it earlier, so that should be the place. All right, so everything look good. Now save it and then close it. So now let's check it out. I will view my form. I want to add a new record. My cursor is now blinking there. You see my cursor is ready to go. See, and then I can type anything I want. So let's go back, design. Okay, next is to modify the combo box. So the combo box in the top, we have to modify that. To do that, we have to click on the name to find the box. Not the title, but this box here, this. And then we have to change the property of this. Okay, so let's check again. So once we have selected, and then we have to change the property name from combo to, it has to be, we have to change this name underscore to underscore find, right? And then we have to scroll a little bit down that until we see row source. Row source, here you go, row source, and then click on the dots, and then it's gonna take you to the query. Alright, and then from here we want the account name to be sorted automatically. So if somebody type a new entry with an A, then automatically is gonna be in the top. Before it was not sorted. Okay, so we have to make it sort alphabetically. So we have to hit save and then close it. We close the query. Now the next thing we want to do under the on current. So what we want to do is select the whole form. Select the whole. See the dot here means you want to select the whole form. And then once you have clicked the dot, okay, the box in the upper left corner of the form, this is the small black square. So once I select it, now in the property sheet, you have to go down, scroll all the way, or you can go to event and on current. See the tab says event. In the event, you will click on current. Okay, so click on current and then click the three dots. Once you did that, then you will go to where it says code builder and then click OK. So it's gonna open like Visual Basic. So when the form is in a current situation, what you want to do, I will say name should be equal to the account all right. So name to find should be equal to what account, and then if you want to say any message, so you will use the apostrophe sign, and then I will say that's like a comments. It's not going to be executed, just for my understanding why I did this. Combo box. It's going to be in green color, so it's not going to affect anything. So name to find equal to account underscore number. Now we have to save, and then once we have saved, we have access here to go back to access. So I will click we are back, right? So if you want, you can close it from here too. Okay. So you can close it from here. After you saved it, now we are back to access. Now, the next thing I want to do is to create a query for the multi-page forms. The second form contains data from the account manager, account, and workshop offering tables, right? So we have to go, I will close the form. I have to go to create, and then query design, and then I will get the show table. I will double click account manager, and then I will double click the account table, and then I will click on workshop offering, and then I will close it. Now I can stretch this to see the fields I have. And then I can collapse this. I can collapse the service native. Now we need to add. Now we have from the account manager, we have to double click account manager, double click it from the account manager table, and then we need account manager table, and then account number from the account, so account number, and then we need the workshop. So from the offering, we need to double click the workshop code. We need our spend. And then we have to right click the empty column here in the right of the hour spent, because we have to create a calculated field. So right click and click right click in the empty. First your cursor has to blink in the empty space in the right hand column, and then you have to right click it until you get the zoom. So now in the zoom I will write the formula. The formula is gonna say hours remaining, equal to, you have to put the square bracket, the fields that involve. In this case is total hours, it has to be as it is, minus the hours spent, and then click OK, and then let's view the query, run it. So here the hour spent, and then we got this. Now we're gonna be saving this query, floppy disk in the top, and then this will be saved as managers and workshop offerings, managers and workshop offerings. Click OK. Now we need to create the second form in a design view. So I will close this query, go to create. Now we have to create form design. Click the form design. Under the form design, then we have to select this small square box in the upper left corner of the form. Should be selected, so click on it. Okay. So once we select it, in the property sheet you select all, and then the record source. Right. So under the all, the record source. So click here, record source. Click the drop down, and then we need to click on account manager table. Then we have to close the property sheet. Now we have to get the add existing field, and then we need to add the account manager, and then we have to change the label to account manager number. We have to select and move this, so I will drag it, and then I will move individually. You have to move your cursor for this gray rectangular box, and then drag it, the square, and then you can stretch it. Now after that, we need to use the text box with concatenation. If you have determined that concatenation, which simply means combining objects together in a series, is inappropriate for a form, you can create a concatenated field by using the text box. So we are joining two things in a text box. So I will click the text box, and I will draw the box here. Right, and then we have to delete the label. I don't want the label, so delete, select and delete. This is my text box. So inside the text box, I will write this formula, equal the square bracket, first name. I want to join the first name and the last name. Close the square, then the ampersand, then the apostrophe sign, then again Shift and 7, the square bracket, last name. So I'm joining two objects in one text box, and then we have to resize it the way you want it. There you go, it should align. Good. You can increase this a little bit. Once we have created this, now I will add the tab. So the tab, you can find it as you move your cursor. It should be this guy here, tab control. To use the tab on the form, you need to insert a tab control. So that's the tab control. You will click on it and you will create the tab like this. So the page 4, page 5, it could have a different number, so no worries about it. Okay. So once you have this, now be sure that you select this and then give me the property sheet, and then it says the name for the first one is page 4. I don't want page 4, so I want to name this, let's say under the caption, under the caption you will name it as this is a data sheet, and then click this one here, and I will change the caption from the property sheet to charts. So now both the tabs we named it. Okay, and then if you want to move it, if you want to add more to it, so these are here. Okay, so caption, we named it. Now let's go to data sheet, and now we need to add the subform, the form that's going to be here. So to add the subform, I will need from my controls, under the controls I need to click this to add form and subform. So click on it and be sure that the tab is data sheet, and just draw like a box. Once you have drawn the box, is a wizard is asking you whether you want to use an existing table or you want to use, so we have to use the existing queries. So hit next, and then once we have hit next, then we need to click on managers and account. So we have to go back here. So obviously we are using a query in here, account, managers, and account offerings. Okay, that's a query to indicate that the field for the subform will be selected from the manager and workshop offerings. And then we need everything, and then we have to hit next, and then access will add the relationship between the master and the subform. So hit next. Now here we're gonna be naming it. We're gonna name this workshop. I will delete this. Workshop offerings for managers. For manager. That's the name of the subform, and click finish. And then you can stretch it. Right? And then once you did that, you can modify the subform. Right? So to modify the subform, you can go here, and then you can double click, go, this is your form. right? Workshop offering for managers. So you can go to the design and then you can change this. Should be account manager. So if you don't want the account manager, I can just delete it from here. And then I can go here and change these to account number. Right. So I will close it, save the changes. Now I will go back. Workshop code. Right. So we did this. And then we can save this. Save, yes. We're gonna save this as manager workshop data. So you see the account number, but the problem is that I put it in the wrong place. It has to be the data sheet, not the chart. So I need to go back. What I will do is that it has to be here, so I will delete this. So be sure that you select not this one, it should be this one, right? And in the properties, you also to confirm that this is a data sheet, and then you will do the same thing again. You will use this guy here, subform, and then just design it. And then because I created it, the form, so I can just use the form I created, remember? See, but you can do from here existing, so I created it. So here, the only thing I did wrong was that I put in the wrong place. So let's check it. The chart is empty. This is the, so we can go back. We can increase the tab, and then we can also move this. Now let's check it out. Everything look good, perfect. Now, the next is I'm gonna teach you how to put the chart. And if you want to put a background color, you will select this, right click, and then fill back color, and then any color you like. I put this color. The book has used gray or green kind of stuff, so or you can go back. You can choose any color you like. Right? So the next thing I'm gonna do, also you can do, go here, go to format, the bucket, and then you can use any color you like. If you like this dark color, then you have to change the label color to something lighter. You can boldface. Right? Now I will teach you how to add a chart. So I will go to the chart. Be sure that you have clicked the chart, and then in the properties it should say caption chart. So it means you are in the chart tab. So we're gonna go back to the design, and then under the design you will see there's a chart. Click the small arrow, look, click the down arrow, chart, and then draw the chart like this. Hold the left key and draw a box. Once you draw a box, now here is gonna ask you what you want to do, right? So in this case we will click queries option. Once you hit the queries option, then we need to find out the query that says workshop offering managers, this one here, and then click next, and then we need to pick the workshop code, and then we need to pick the hour spent, and then hit next. Now next we'll ask you what the chart you want to do. So we want to use pie chart. Next, it's gonna look like this, and then we have to move to next, and then we have the account manager number and the account manager number. That's perfect. Then hit next. Then we have to name the title for the chart is gonna say hours spent by workshop offering. So the chart is there. Now we're gonna go back and add our next for the remaining. So draw the box again. I will use the query managers and workshop offerings. We will get the workshop code and the remaining hours. So we have to select, and then we have to say next, pie chart, next, next, the chart will look like this, the next, next. Now here we're gonna name it as hours remaining by workshop, and then click finish. So both the chart has been created. So let's click the save from the floppy disk in the top. Let's view the form. For the account manager 31, Heidi Rivera, these are all her accounts, workshops, hours spent. So I will go to the chart. So this is the hour spent, and then this is the remaining hour left. Right. So if I go to the next record, Simpson, Betterloo, it doesn't have any record. Let's go back to find something. Mark Simpson has a lot, so let's go here and find his chart. Actually, my screen is it's a little bit. It has all the charts. As you move next, you will see it. It's flashing my screen actually, but it's there as I show you. Now the next thing is how you gonna modify the chart. If you said, I want to change the chart, then obviously you will go back to the design view, and then from the design view, what you need to do is select the chart. So we have the chart, and then what you need is do right click, and then you will see chart object change to, so here change object, right? Or you will do right click, let's say here, right click, and then you have all the build events, insert, change. If you want to insert another page, that's here. Again, we want to go to the chart. So once you double clicked it, see, double click, it's gonna take you here. That you can change. If you think something you want to modify, you can do so. And then if you do right click, you can change the type of the chart. So you can change it. You can go here and say, you know what, I need to change it to a column. I will do, but let's show you here. It's gonna look like this, and then right click if you want to change 3D, or you have to do right click, type again, chart options, you can do that. So now double click again, you are back. Now right click, object, and then you can do also edit the same way. You can either double click like the way I'm showing you, right click, edit is editing, you can edit. And also you can change the type of the chart as I show you. You can do right click, change type, and then you can change to any you want. If you want to change this, so double click, then do right click, type. This one we can do bar. Okay. And then the next thing that you can do, if you select this, the legend, and then right click, and then you can format the legend. So you can have a background placement where you want, in the bottom, in the top, it's up to you. So I put bottom. If you wanna give any color, As I change it to this, so you see it's in the bottom, right? And then let's view the form again. The form, the chart is there. So actually, sometimes my form is flashing kind. I see like a flashing, but it's there. If you go to the layout, it's coming, but it's gonna take a while, a little bit, like a few seconds. So that ends our chapter number 7, and that's your last chapter in your database class. And if you go back here and you see the chart is there, we have created the chart. Okay, so I hope that you have learned how to create the chart, how to create the tab controls, and then I also show you about how to add buttons, how to add the combo box. So I hope that you have enjoyed this lecture, and hopefully next week is gonna be your exam week. So enjoy and go back and look at the video. Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye.